Whoa, it's Wulzy. Welcome back to another Geometry Dash building video. Kind of. We're stealing today, but not maliciously, I promise. This is going to be something awesome. I was recently informed of the Rob's Vault Geometry Dash account, which contains a copy of every single Geometry Dash level, the official levels, as they appear in the game files. We're going to start off with Stereo Madness. We're going to copy these levels, so I have an actual copy of the official Stereo Madness instead of a recreation. And if I look on the build tab right here, you'll see there is a C tab at the end, which basically allows you to select a bunch of objects and make a copy of them. So I'm just taking random pieces of this level, which I don't condone in general. This is just for content. I'm gonna try and get a mix of sizes of samples that we're taking from Stereo Madness, so I have a lot to work with. And I want to start making my own junkyard level using the pieces of Stereo Madness and a few other Robtop levels. I'm gonna be using the song Ultimate Destruction. You may not know this, but this song was originally planned, or there was a beta version of some sort of Robtop level that uses this song. So as you can see on the Robtop Games YouTube channel, we have Geometry Jump by Robtop Games Beta. But yeah, you can see that this is just a demo of a level promoting the game with the song Ultimate Destruction. It has a lot of similarities to Base After Base. The song got changed and everything, but yeah, just an interesting factoid. And I'm sure everyone remembers it as like a montage kind of song for levels like Ultimate Demon Mix, stuff like that. So I just think for nostalgia purposes, we're going to use this song and just dip into that kind of feeling. I'm going to set everything to black at the very beginning, the background, the ground, the line. We'll start off with a wave, I guess. I'm going to turn off preview mode and start placing down my little samples. I'm going to free move and snap these into place so they go immediately to the grid, because as you can see, they were just like in a random place. Now they're perfectly in their spot. I'm going to shrink these down. I might honestly have just nailed that first try. This is going to take a lot of trial and error, but my idea is to capture these in a block. There's going to be a few things that are made constant. The outline is going to be B4 and 10 on the Z order, and any block that's on the inside is going to be B4 and 9. Everything's going to be don't fade, don't enter. We're going to have a background piece as well using the plane objects to hopefully bring these blocks to life. That can be B4 and 8, and we can make that the same purple that's in Stereo Madness. Oh, the ground spikes right here are getting pushed all the way to the very bottom of B4 because they have blending on them. These player color channels at the top, they automatically put blending on. So these objects that are on the inside are going to have to be bumped up to B3, and so can the outline. So the outline and the blocks are on B3, the background piece is on B4. I'm actually just going to copy whatever color is in this background trigger to get it more accurate. Let's see how far off I was. Oh, I was pretty far off, but there we go. We have Stereo Madness in a block. I'm going to give these blocks groups and they can move ever so slightly, so it feels like we're floating through a junkyard. Add a few details like the line fading on. So yeah, we have Stereo Madness right there. You may have noticed the player color particles that float around. I'm gonna put a background effect off trigger at the very beginning to combat that. Cool. Okay, and how does this scale up as a whole? Oh, it does not like that at all. Oh boy. Scale hacks go crazy. Hey, there we go. We have a decent start here. The strategy for me really is to snap it to the grid first, and then you can see exactly where it fits between. And we could probably use a 5x scale block. I love scale hacks so much. We have our first overlap. Let's take our objects and the outline and bump them up to B2. Then we can take our background piece, bump it up to the very top of B3, and I guess we can create a ring of glow around this object. Like this, we'll make that black on color channel 9. B2 as well, I guess, to match the outline, and this should be on group number 2, so it should move right above and leave a little shadow. Perfect. Look at that. Stereo Madness starts off blue and it goes a little bit purple. So I'm going to add a little bit of hue. There we go. So that's blue, and then it's venturing into pink and purple. And we can definitely pulse our color channel 2 down in brightness a little bit with a little bit of fade time, a little bit of hold. So it just kind of flickers up and down. What if I got rid of every spike at this point and had a cube portal like this that just rises with everything else? Oh, dude, that could work. That's actually a really nicely sized block. I've done pretty well there. Okay, except that's not purple. It's red in the level, so I gotta shift the hue. I'm gonna guess plus 80, something like that. Wow, okay, well, with a little bit less saturation, I've done it. That looks about right. I'll put the block right in here with a half space. You see, if I select this object, the grid goes tiny, and I can use the arrow keys to get like a little custom space. Very useful for making precise gameplay and stuff like that. Oh! Oops. Ah, there's a slight overlap there. Nothing that the shadow glow can't fix. Then I guess we can bring this object a little bit to the left and give it a group, which slides all that space to the left and up a little bit, because I also dropped it a bit. Hopefully I got the timing right, so we should be able to just hop, hop. Oh! I guess every couple of pulses we can change the hue very slightly just to spice up the way that this color change is. There we go. So we get a slight color change, which is sick. Okay, so this block is going to be a tall one. Oh, it's different when there's a ceiling. Oh boy. See, previously I didn't have to consider the ceiling at all. What is the start position? Excuse me. What? Whoa, 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 whoa. Dude! Okay, wait, I gotta try something. What if, okay, I go into Polargeist. Okay, but I could have built that, really, but the most important thing is the color of this. Let me see if I can go behind all of this, make a new color channel with the Polargeist background color. Super far back, don't fade, don't enter. We'll just make a pillar of this, I guess. That will probably do. Okay, and then make a fake ground right here on a half opacity black, like that, and then can I put like an orb, maybe? I don't know, that looks cool to me. This can actually just be alphaed on as we hit the orb on like a 0.8 fade time. It needs to be set to 0 opacity at first. Or maybe we could fade it up so we hit the orb and then it fades back off, because the green is super harsh. It makes sense to do that, and we could just put glow around the edges so it's masked in. Let's see. That's cool, right? Oh my god. Okay, so I continued this to the end of the segment where the song changes, and I am kind of sick of the floaty approach, so I'm going to take a completely different approach with the teleporter up here. Now for the next part, I'm just going to steal the entirety of the jumper corridor. It is truly a banger segment. Alrighty, there it is. We have jumper at the top of the level. Now let's get started on some blocks for this. I'm going to leave the insides of these blocks hollow, and you'll see why soon. I guess I'll take the whole thing and make like a custom ground in a modern level. Okay, there we have it. And then we're going to set this to a group 11, which locks to the x-axis and slowly moves towards the player. That's not 11. This is 11 though, and we're going to move it back. I'm willing to bet it's about 40 blocks long, maybe an ease in out, something like that. We can find out how many blocks long it is. It's only 35, so we're going to change this to 250, maybe? I have an idea, actually. It involves tampering with these structures a little bit, but what if I could delete these 3 lines and put a mini portal right here that's invisible on the group 1 that I set earlier, and then made fake outlines. I just need to make sure that all of the blocks are set to 1 Z layer below the outlines. The outlines are going over the top of the blocks and not getting stuck underneath. You see what happens there with the layering, how it kind of gets cut off down there? So let me see. Can I enter this block? I can! Let's go. That's sick. That seems like a bit of a stretch for gameplay, but it could work. In fact, let me just chop the top off of these objects. I don't know what I was thinking with those. Just makes the block a lot cleaner as well. Okay, this one is going to be really small because I need a block that's 1 block tall. I am running out of blocks to steal, honestly. I've took quite a lot out of this one jumper corridor. See if I can get away with copying my own copying. Pretty funny sentence there. Then I can make a jumper corridor. You've never seen creating as efficient as this, ladies and gentlemen. Look at that. I wonder if I can copy the values and then make little corners to the edges of some of these blocks like this, and then have a little gap where we gotta hit a red. Okay, we can probably just rig this a little bit in our favor. And we've got to use extra little corner pieces right here, because the hitbox of this object, if I quickly turn on the show hitboxes mod, you see it's a full square, whereas if I place just a tiny little object in there, it doesn't get affected. So we can actually jump on the floor, and then we'll probably move the spike to the edge as a little bit more rigging. Here comes the terrifying part, because look at how I've spaced some of these objects. Oh boy. Okay, let me move these outlines up onto B3 and 3. So B3 and 2 is still on top of these blocks, but behind the outlines, and that's going to help me out a little bit when I come to cover up these blocks, or the spaces around them, I mean. So I can have this line right here. It's my priority, because it's probably the most annoying place that I got to fill up. B3 and 2, we can just cover it up with a line like so. Just gonna copy paste and move it 3 pixels down like so. That should fill up the space, I think. If I go in preview mode, nothing changed, so seems like it's gonna be fine. Gonna copy the values of those, get some mini blocks, and just fill in any mini spaces I can see by eye. So if I'm looking at an object and I see that it's like half spaced off grid, I'm gonna put these mini blocks in. And yes, I noticed that these spikes are covered up. I need to change that so it stays above the effect. Yeah, I probably should have been a little bit more considerate of how I've been placing these boxes, but it should be fine. Boom, nothing changed. Perfect. Now it's time for the easy part. There's a few things that are super easy to do, like a background pulse, because like look how it just lights up the space behind the blocks there. Could just repeat this over and over again so we get the flickering look that we had before. By the way, I'm going to be adding a block transition as you go through this teleporter. It's almost cool looking. I just need to make sure that the bottom objects are on don't fade, don't enter. I'll probably just occasionally throw these pulses just to flex that we can do that, you know? In anticipation of what I'm about to add, I'm going to add some alpha triggers that turn off whatever I'm going to put in the background whenever this flash is going to happen and fade it right back on afterwards. We can probably add some laser beams that copy color channel 2 on blending, crushed up a little bit like that so there's a solid line in the middle. Before, don't fade and don't enter. Okay, this is what we're looking at right here. I think that could look pretty cool, honestly. Just copy paste them 3 blocks apart. So now they're only appearing inside the blocks, as you can see. Okay, so now we have a little laser beam effect that goes through these blocks. Let me get the coin as well to show you this route when the camera gets raised. Hell yeah, dude. Then I'm going to copy the values, get a square, scale it up to about 5 times... Come on. 5 times scale, paste the color, add it to editor layer 4 instead. It's going to be T3. It's going to have its own opacity. Group 14 can be, I think, 0.4% opaque. Yeah, that looks pretty cool to me. Alrighty, that's not bad. I do kind of like that misty feel that the blue imposes on all of this. And we can add a little bit of decoration. Why not? I love the green in that as well, dude. I think this is going to fit in with the rest of the decoration if we scale up a little spiral object over and over again with different degree numbers, making it rotate faster the bigger it is. Ooh, I scaled up some more swirl objects, and that just makes it look so textured and foggy now. This is so awesome. Unfortunately, I'm not going to be releasing this level because it plays like ass, but I have enjoyed this whole creating process. I think it's pretty cool as a result. This part's definitely cooler than the other part. I don't know. There's some mixed movements with the ground and everything, but the idea of just having like random Robtop levels float around like Jumper, Stereo Madness, the problem with that is levels like Deadlocked have specific color channels that they need to work, and that would be a lot more effort, but I would be willing to try it again if you guys enjoyed this video. It's just a little silly idea that I had. Sometimes they don't always go well, but yeah. Thank you for watching this Geometry Dash building video. Check the links in the description, leave a like and subscribe, and have a good day. That's Jumper, believe it or not. What?